Hi everyone, thanks for joining my presentation today. My name is Grace Cui and I'm excited to share my capstone project titled Broadening Participation in Green Stormwater Infrastructure, Customizing Rainwise Outreach Through Community Lifestyles, Culture, and Interest. If you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to drop them in the chat box and I will answer them at the end. To start with some background information, Seattle faces ongoing challenges with stormwater runoff, which carries pollutants into our waterways and puts stress on the old drainage infrastructure. Traditional gray infrastructure is often overwhelmed by stormwater volumes, leading to flooding, water pollution, and combined sewage overflows. Programs like Rainwise offer community-based solutions green stormwater infrastructure or GSI by helping homeowners install systems like rain gardens or cisterns and providing financial rebates. As the picture shown on the right, the top one is a rain garden and the bottom one is a cistern. However, one issue that kept coming up is that outreach efforts of GSI don't always reach or engage diverse communities. So that this problem led to the core purpose of my project, exploring how Rainwise can make its outreach more culturally relevant and reflective of community lifestyles. This led to my research question: how can Rainwise customize its outreach strategies that reflect community members' lifestyle, cultural backgrounds, and interests to increase the participation of GSI? To address this problem, I have a privilege to intern with Sustainable Balance as a Rainwise outreach intern. During the outreach work, one of my work was conducting surveys. I tabled at local farmers market where I distributed surveys and briefly introduced how Rainwise and GSI work for community members who are interested in our program. I also did the work of translating materials. I translated a full set of workshop slides into my first language Chinese Mandarin and recorded audio in the PowerPoint, making the material more accessible to Mandarin-speaking community members. In addition to my internship work, I also did the literature review. I reviewed academic research on outreach design and barriers with effective community engagement strategies. From the data from surveys and research on the literature review, I got several key findings. The first finding was, according to the data shown on the figure 2, farmers market was the most effective outreach location as people hear from Rainwise at farmers market most often. Farmers market are a place that people are open to shopping by and learning something new, enabling direct interaction with residents. The second finding was residents expressed strong interest in outdoor activities, gardening, and family-friendly workshops. The third finding was, from the literature review, that language and cultural differences are major barriers to participation in environmental programs like GSI. Without accessible materials, people will have the sense of being excluded. The last finding was, studies show that when community members are involved in the planning and decision-making, what we call co-design, the community engagement work becomes more relevant and inclusive. People feel ownership and can identify local needs more accurately. Based on these findings, here are some of the recommendations for improving Rainwise outreach, making it reflective community members' lifestyle, cultural backgrounds, and interest. Rainwise could continue to use accessible and high-traffic places like farmers market to allow our outreach team to meet residents where they already gather. By doing so, they can build trust and increase visibility. Outreach team could design family-oriented events and offer flexible times that can make participation easier. Also, it is a good idea to provide hands-on gardening activities to help the community members know how GSI could work in their real yards. Translation isn't just about convenience, it is about equity. Rainwise already has its multilingual flyers, so offering multilingual workshops or other activities could welcome diverse communities, for some of them may feel excluded from government's programs. Ultimately, the way of exploring community members' lifestyle, culture, and interests through surveys is a way that involves community members in designing outreach content to ensure that the program fits their needs and strengthen the long-term engagement. By doing so, the community members will favor the content and are willing to engage. Thank you all for listening to my capstone presentation. I want to express my sincere thanks to my site supervisor Jenny Hines and my faculty advisor Yan-Chu Wang. And of course, I'm deeply grateful to my parents for always supporting me. Please leave your questions in the chat if you aren't already. I will answer them.